All right, this is just to recap interrogatives that do play a role in the incepting and incepted aspects, right? Or what I like to call the completed or incomplete aspects, right? And again, this is why I don't really explain things via past, present, or future because it just doesn't work well that way. You can explain this through past, present, or future, but it won't have a good explanation. So I explain this through aspect rather than tense. Let's begin with the incepted aspect or the completed aspect, right? If an action has already started, right? If an action or a verb started already, we're talking somewhere that has already been completed or have already began, right? We're talking in the incepted aspect, something that already happened and started, right? We can't go back because the action already started. Here in this column of our timeline, we have three types of interrogatives. Kanusa, diin, and giunsa. I will explain each and every one of them, so pay attention. Kanusa means when, right? When. Now, the reason why I put kanusa here is that kanusa expresses a completed aspect. Something was already done, right? When did you arrive? Oh, okay, because you're here in front of me, so obviously you already finished arriving somewhere. So when did that happen? When did you finish your homework? Because obviously it's in front of me and it's already completed, so you did it already, right? It's back completed. When did you finish your homework? When did you cook this? Obviously the food is in front of me, so it's already cooked. It happened sometime in the past, right? When did it happen? Kanus that's what I mean by completed or completed or it already happened, right? An action already happened or it already began, right? And that's where we get ganus a from. The counterpart to that is anus a, right? Okay, if an action hasn't happened yet, if an event hasn't happened yet, if a situation hasn't happened yet, if it didn't exist yet, if it didn't start yet, we use anus a. When will that be? When will the party start? What time will this be? Where will I go? You see how it expresses some sort of concept that a verb or an action or some sort of event situation in time hasn't happened yet, but you are asking when something will happen or if it's going to happen. Hence, we have the incepting, the incomplete, not started, hasn't happened yet, right? This aspect, right? I like to call it the incomplete because something hasn't happened yet. So anusa expresses that where, that kind of where. So there's the where from the past and the where from the future, right? Okay, if you want to talk in terms of tense, where there's the where from the past and things that already happened, and the when, sorry, not where, the when from the past and the when from the future. Now pay attention from what I'm gonna say here. I put an asterisk with anusa because this is where Cebuano, the language of Cebuano, is changing. It's evolving. Nobody really says anusa anymore nowadays, right? Instead, we use kanusa to express both the incepted and incepting aspects, the completed and incomplete. So kanusa now takes the role of anusa and kanusa. And kanusa is now for both completed and incomplete aspects. Now, does this mean that anusa doesn't exist in the English language? I mean, in the Cebuano language? No, it doesn't. Anusa still exists. The only thing is that nobody really uses anus a nowadays. Instead, we always now use kanus a almost always all the time. I'm just putting this video out there for your information. Next, we have diin, right? Diin means where, yeah, it's where. And it has that same connotation with kanus a in the fact that it was where that an event happened, right? Where an event was completed or an action that was already started. Where did you come from? Where did that happen? Where did this go? See, so it's anything that happened that was anything that was already completed actions in the past takes diin. And I put dis-a there because dis-a is a dialectal difference, right? Dis-a has the same meaning as diin, but again, diin is the standard dialect of Cebuano that's used versus dis-a, which is a dialect of Cebuano that's used somewhere else, right? It's dis-a is not that very much used unless the dialect of that Cebuano, the dialect of that Cebuano language uses it. So again, in standard Cebuano, you'll use diin, and most of the people who speak Cebuano uses diin. Opposite, just like anusa, right? Opposite of diin is hain or asa or aha, right? And I'll explain those. Hain, first of all, expresses incepting, incomplete, and not started. So actions in the future, right? It expresses that. Hain also expresses existence of objects. I mean, more specifically, nouns, right? So hain expresses existence of nouns. Where is that object? Where can I find this person? Where will this object be? Where will see how it's where is that going to go? Where is blah blah blah? So it expresses a an object or a noun, right? Let's call it a noun because people are also included. Hain si Esmeralda. Where is Esmeralda? Where will she be, right? Because it expresses that existence. She is existing somewhere. I just don't know where she is. Hain si Esmeralda. Okay. Now, asa. Asa is that universal way of saying where, right? And asa can indicate a place, right? Asa can indicate a place. However, asa can also indicate nouns, so and objects as well, right? So a place. Asa ang Estados Unidos. Asa wherever, right? You're looking for a place. I put aha down there because aha is a dialectal difference, right? It's the same definition and the same concept with asa. It's just aha. It's pronounced differently, and some Cebuano dialects uses aha. However, the standard Cebuano dialect uses asa. Okay, asa. But again, I just put it out there because it's a dialectal difference. Some Cebuano dialects will have aha instead of asa, but the standard uses asa. I put asterisks on hain and hain. First of all, I put an asterisk there because one, hain is not really used that much. And here's where the language also is changing. It's not really used that much. Instead, asa takes the definition of hain, right? And hain almost only refers to like the nouns, objects, nouns, stuff like that, right? And it expresses again in the incomplete. I put an asterisk in asa because asa is slowly starting, if not already has, taken the roles of hain, aha, diin, and dis-a. So if you don't know which one to use, asa is taking the role or the definition of all of that to mean where. It can mean where for the for the completed and where for the incomplete. That's what asa is starting to evolve into, or if not, it already has evolved to take on the roles of both aspects. It also evolved to take on the role of hain, where it not only expresses a place, it can also express an existence of nouns, objects, people, and also places, right? So everything. Asa takes on just like this universal everything kind of role, right? And again, aha is just a variant of asa, it's just a dialectal difference, right? So most commonly, you'll hear diin and asa when you're out speaking Cebuano, right? And finally, we have giunsa and unsaon, the hows, right? This is easy. I made a video about this, right? So giunsa meaning how did something happen? How was that happening? How did that in the past somewhere that was already completed or an action that began happened? How did it come so? Versus unsaon, where we don't know how this happened, but how will it? Where how will I do this? How will I find that? How will I cook this? How will I whatever? Somewhere that expresses an action that hasn't happened yet, a situation, an event that hasn't happened yet. I want to know how I will do it. And that's where unsaon comes in. Now remember, gi and on are both object focus endings, right? So they're conjugated in the object focus. So if you use gi